Hello! I'm glad you're here again today. Today is our second Cooking with Libby program, part of our 5-week challenge to eating more plant-based. Like I said, so excited for you to join me today because we are now in our 3rd week in which we're going to be focusing on legumes. And today I decided to feature black beans, which, by the way, are really super power-packed. 1 cup of beans has about 8 grams of protein and about 7 grams of fiber. Very significant. So first thing we want to do, I am going to be making a flourless black bean brownie muffin. It's not an original recipe. It is from Ambitious Kitchen, and I'm going to be making it exactly as the recipe is written. There might be a few things that I would change along the way, which I'll point out. So first thing you want to do is just line your muffin tin or cupcake tin with papers very easily. Actually, easier said than done. These papers don't really want to tuck into the muffin tins as easily as you would think. You see, but once we get the batter in there, it's going to be great. Well, while I do this, I did want to share with you a few things about fiber and why it's so important. As you know, there's a very important need for fiber because fiber helps keep us regular, but it also helps us achieve and maintain our ideal body weight, or a good healthy body weight rather. So fiber plays a really big role. Now there are 2 types of fiber which beans actually have. We have soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Now together they make up dietary fiber. So when you look at the back of the nutrition package and you see dietary fiber, now you know that's a combination of both soluble and insoluble. So, okay, muffin tins are lined, and I'm going to go ahead and get the recipe started. I forgot one final step. You do want to spray these papers with a little bit of spray oil. This is going to keep the batter from sticking once it's cooked, and it's just going to slip right off. Now the liners are going to keep the muffin tin clean, so it's going to be easy cleanup. And then the oil is going to make the muffin release really easily. I don't know why I feel like I have to shake it, and in fact I'm going to tilt this a little bit differently as I spray. So a common question I get is, Libby, how much fiber do I need? And a good place to start is with how many calories you eat a day. We should be getting about 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. So if that means if you're eating about 1,500 calories, maybe you're a medium active female, you would need about 21 grams of fiber. If you're more active or you're male, maybe eating 2,500 calories a day, you would need closer to 35 grams of fiber. All right, our tins and papers are ready. We can go ahead and get started. And you might be guessing this is a pretty simple recipe. For starters, we've got our black beans. I don't want to get too close and blur them out, but there you go. That's about a 15-ounce can. They've been rinsed and drained. What I like about that is you can remove a significant amount of sodium just by rinsing your canned foods. All right, beans are in, and we're going to start with 1 of the eggs. So this will have a chance to incorporate and become nice and creamy before we actually add the second egg. So a quick assembly here. So as many of you know, I actually got up early and I made this recipe for breakfast and did a trial run. So you know it's going to be super simple. That never happens. Okay, hang on one sec. Quick recovery. All right. While that's going, I am going to just share with you a couple of the other ingredients that are going to go into the recipe. we are going to, our next wave of things, we're going to add all the liquids, which will include some vanilla, which always adds a nice aromatic quality. It's about a teaspoon here. And a little bit, the recipe calls for coconut oil. This is one item that I would change. I opted to go for this, I did change it. I opted to go for canola oil because it too, canola oil, can help us lower our cholesterol. So that's why I made the change. The second reason is coconut oil has predominantly saturated fats, which can elevate our LDL cholesterol, which is exactly what we don't want to have happen. And then I've got a little bit of coffee here for flavor and some maple syrup. This is looking quite nice. You can see it's changed colors and all the beans have been pureed and it's getting kind of creamy. Take a look here. And looking quite lovely. As you can see, it's got a lot of body to it. So the final batter is actually quite, I don't want to say thin, but thinner than you would expect. So 2 more eggs go in. If you like a more cakey muffin, then you could add a 4th egg. These are large eggs, and I have to say, the recipe I made this morning had 3 eggs, and it was pretty perfect in the muffin tin. And we'll get this going again. And voila, that's going. So you can see we've got a good amount of protein coming from the black beans. We've also got a good amount of protein coming from 3 eggs, maybe 4 if you like that more cakey type of muffin. Oh, that's looking delicious already. Reminds me of actually chocolate cake batter, but we're going to make it that much more delicious, adding the vanilla, the touch of oil, which I'm not even sure that we really need the touch of oil. In all honesty, I might leave this out completely in the future. The maple syrup, this is going to add our sweetness. And finally, the touch of coffee. So I brewed that nice and strong this morning so it would have a nice depth to add to our chocolate muffin. Oops. Love safety. This is looking really good. Next wave of ingredients will be our dry ingredients, and that will include baking powder, which I have to say adds some levitation and I'm sure some air to the product. However, I have to say the product was pretty dense, so I didn't get a lot of rise from my baking powder. Lovely. Oh, this is looking so delicious. Now, before I add the dry ingredients, I'm going to actually run them through a sieve. I'm not sure that this is necessary. This is an additional step that I just wanted to be sure and follow. This is because I noticed my baking powder had a few lumps and bumps in it, as did my cocoa. So both of these I'm just going to put through the sieve, and it is as good as sifting. You can also put the dry ingredients into a bowl and use a whisk to whisk them together. So a little bit of an aggressive shake and we can get all the fine powder to come right through, and it's going to leave me with a few chunks here at the bottom in my sieve. I'm not going to throw those out or exclude them. I just want you to see how much is really in there in terms of clumps. And I can use a spoon or perhaps a measuring cup or even my fingers to just press them through the sieve so that all the ingredients go into the mixture. And voila, now we're set. With that being said, it calls for a pinch of salt. Again, I'm not sure exactly how necessary that is, but nonetheless, I told you I would be following the recipe, and there you go. love a food processor because it makes mixing so easy. So one of the significant things about black beans is, and actually all beans, lentils, chickpeas, they have a significant amount of soluble fiber, and this is really important because this is the type of fiber that reduces our blood cholesterol. All right, this is looking fantastic. A quick scrape down. And now you are going to be able to see how significantly thinner our batter is. You can just see it drip right off of there. So when I add it to our muffin tins, I'm actually going to use a ladle because it's just going to make getting it in there so much easier. I fold in the chocolate chips. This is not an exact science. I noticed this morning that they all fell to the bottom, so I'm just going to give that a quick stir. There's really not too much to folding in the chocolate chips. Unless you want to taste one, I can completely appreciate that. I've retained a couple tablespoons to decorate the top of our muffins. And we're ready to go. You can see how easily this recipe is to throw together if by chance you're putting it together in the morning or maybe the night before, or maybe you're just getting ahead and have plans to individually wrap these and put them in the freezer. All of that is fair game. I could also see making this recipe without the cocoa, or maybe with the cocoa. I've never been one to turn down chocolate, but I could see using different kinds of beans as well. So if you don't have black beans, don't feel that you can't use canned lentils or even cannelloni beans, navy beans, kind of whatever you have. So I'll show you how full I got these with the ladle, and it's almost to the rim of our paper liner. I'm not going to fill them all for you because that would take just a little bit of time, but if you fill them this full, you'll have enough batter to completely cover them all. And of course, the final touches are real simple. You can be very casual about it, but I found about 3 to 4 chips worked well on top of each muffin and had the perfect outcome. So there you go. I'm gonna put this aside and show you our final product. Like I said, I got up early, I made these, super proud of them. Just think they turned out absolutely charming. And I love the presentation. It looks a little glossy under the light, but let's see if we can get them up there and show you the chips. They had a very positive reception for breakfast, so I hope this goes over great in your household as well. So back to soluble fiber as we wrap up this idea of incorporating beans, lentils, dried peas into this week's cooking. The importance of soluble fiber, keep in mind, is to lower cholesterol, and I have a fiber video on my website which will explain how much soluble fiber we need exactly, which is about 1/4 of our total fiber needs. And it will also share with you a variety of other foods that have fiber: beans, lentils, dried peas. But you'd also be surprised, also fruits, vegetables, whole grains like barley, apples, dates, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts. These are all great sources of soluble fiber, so you can see how easy it is just by eating a variety of foods and plant-based foods, how easy it is to get not only our fiber, but also our soluble fiber needs.